Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. There are many important developments, some related to the devastating floods in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Pakistan, where hundreds of lives have been lost and property worth billions has been destroyed. But in front of me, I also have columns by Mr. Sohail Warich, who has been continuously writing on Imran Khan, on Pakistani politics, democracy, and General Asim Munir. In fact, 3 back-to-back columns from Sohail Warich have appeared, and journalist Matiullah Jan has accused him of shifting the narrative. According to Matiullah Jan, instead of keeping the focus on the question, when will Imran Khan be released, Sohail Warich has diverted the debate into, should Imran Khan apologize to General Asim Munir, and why should he apologize? Jan's argument is that this diversion cannot last long, and the narrative will eventually return. Sohail Warich has also accused Imran Khan's supporters, his so-called YouTubers, of playing the role of Tara Masih in his life. For those who might not be familiar, Tara Masih was the executioner brought from Lahore to Rawalpindi during General Zia-ul-Haq's military regime to hang Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Warich suggests that these YouTubers, out of their own selfishness, are pushing Khan towards destruction. So, on Sunday, an NPP-led multi-party conference was held in Islamabad, where demands were made, including by Maulana Fazlur Rahman, to immediately stop ongoing military operations in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. Another development is related to Mohsin Naqvi, whom Sohail Warich himself acknowledged in his column as a good friend with strong influence and connections to General Asim Munir. Naqvi, speaking at a Professor Waris Mir Foundation seminar, praised ISI as an extraordinarily strong and successful intelligence agency that, for example, had prior knowledge of India's war plans and even obtained complete video footage within minutes of the downing of 6 Indian aircraft. My effort will be to stitch all these different strands together into a coherent narrative for you. Let's see how successful I am in extracting a message and understanding from them. Before going further, my old request: if you haven't yet joined this YouTube channel, please subscribe, click the bell icon, turn on all notifications, and also join my WhatsApp channel. I keep sharing its link in the comments, though very few people have joined recently. Perhaps it's not accessible in Pakistan, I'm not sure. Now, coming back to Sohail Warich's rapid-fire columns, what is their point? At first glance, he appears to be speaking on behalf of General Asim Munir, the army chief, addressing all of us, Pakistani politics, and PTI or Imran Khan, conveying messages from the establishment. Secondly, Warich is no ordinary writer. He's a big name in Urdu journalism, counted among the Urdu intelligentsia of the last 25 to 30 years, an intelligent, educated man, and the author of several books, including a well-regarded one on Benazir Bhutto's assassination. Unfortunately, he now seems to be reflecting the same tragedy of Muslim history, intellectuals submitting to the Sultan of the time. As scholars Ahmed Kuru and others have pointed out, independent Muslim scholarship, once self-financed and supported by markets until the 10th or 11th centuries, lost autonomy when states began financing scholars, turning them into extensions of the state. Warich today, in effect, is playing that role, an extension of the state, that is, General Asim Munir. In the past 12 to 14 hours, Warich has done 2 notable things. He posted a rather harsh tweet. He also posted a picture of himself with General Asim Munir. In the picture, General Munir looks directly into the blindness of the camera lens, while Warich, not knowing where to look, seems awkward but visibly excited. Proud, really, to be standing with the ruler of the day. His tweet, addressing prisoner number 804, that's Imran Khan, sarcastically said, "Dear prisoner, you yourself have said that U-turns are part of politics, so for the sake of national stability, take a U-turn. Keep your mouth shut until the next elections. That would be in the larger national interest. If elections are held in 2024, the next cycle will end in 2029. Until then, just work to ensure transparency of elections. This would be a deal no one can object to." This clearly shows that Warich is acting as a messenger on behalf of General Asim Munir and the Sharif Zardari establishment, conveying to Imran Khan and his supporters what they want. He is particularly harsh toward YouTubers, treating them as rivals in this media landscape. Earlier, Warich wrote a column titled Traveller versus Prisoner number 804, dated August 17th, warning Khan and his supporters by recalling how even Zulfikar Ali Bhutto mistakenly believed he could resist military establishment pressure with courts, protests or international opinion. That miscalculation led to his hanging under Zia-ul-Haq. Similarly, Warich suggests Imran Khan has misjudged by thinking social media protests or the judiciary would restore him to power. According to Warich, Khan has only two options: apologize and get released. Where there is life, there is hope, or meet the same fate as Bhutto. In his latest August 18th column, Reality and Majority, Warich appears to balance his harshness by defending democracy, arguing that while military power and establishment strength may achieve temporary success against India, insurgencies or economic crises, ultimately political majority is essential. This in a way looks like his attempt at repentance or compensation for his previous pro-establishment tone. He ends with an Urdu couplet: "Now whoever wishes may hold the light, we have already placed our burning hearts in the open." In this, he bears his emotions, presenting himself as a defender of democracy. But when you read all 3 days of Warich's writings on Imran Khan, you sense helplessness. Because he is educated and intelligent, yet perhaps understands much more than he dares to say openly. You may want to say it, but because of constraints, you cannot. That much becomes clear from his writings. So, what is the key message here? The key message is that General Asim Munir wants Imran Khan to apologize, and if Imran Khan apologizes, things will begin to settle. But what does apology mean here? In common understanding, people think it means that Imran Khan should apologize for the events of May 9th, as if he had plotted against Pakistan's state institutions and was the architect of that conspiracy. I don't think that's the real meaning. I have looked at this very closely. Believe me, I've been examining all this carefully for the past 3 or 4 hours, reading each of Sohail Warich's columns twice. From what I see, the apology General Asim Munir wants from Imran Khan has nothing to do with May 9th. That is a big misunderstanding. If anywhere in your mind you connect this apology to May 9th, it is not that. What Munir wants is for Imran Khan to understand, accept and demonstrate through his actions that all his defiance, based on popular civilian public opinion, the will of the people, the riaya as Muslim history calls it, that defiance against General Asim Munir's authority was a grave mistake. He wants Khan to show that he now realizes challenging Munir's military power was foolish, and that he has surrendered. This is what is being framed as national interest and stability. In one of his columns, Warich openly writes, "Unless some miracle or accident occurs, like when General Zia-ul-Haq's plane exploded mid-air on August 17, 1988, Imran Khan has only two options: either apologize and be freed, where there is life, there is hope, or face the same fate as Zulfikar Ali Bhutto." Warich also accuses YouTubers of endangering Imran Khan's life, claiming they are not his friends, but his enemies. He seems particularly angry at some, maybe at me, at Imran Riaz, at Dr. Shahbaz Gill, who knows which ones more than others. That's his view. This is a smartly packaged, cleverly created narrative, and to some extent it carries realism, harsh words, but grounded in some truth. But a question arises: why now? What is the timing? Why are these messages being delivered at this particular moment? Sohail Warich himself wrote in his August 16th column that he had long been trying for months to meet General Asim Munir, and it was Mohsin Naqvi who finally arranged the meeting. Shaheen Sabai, a journalist in Washington, had earlier falsely claimed he had arranged a meeting between Nawaz Sharif and General Munir. But Warich says clearly he had never met Munir before, only seen him on TV, and Naqvi arranged the meeting after months of trying. So the question is, why now? Why are all these messages being put out at this stage? That's a question I leave for you to think about, like an exercise at the end of a school chapter. Reflect on it and share your comments. What is the significance of the timing? But I'll also point something out. If Sohail Warich had been even slightly honest in his 3 columns, he could have added even one paragraph, or just 2 lines, saying, "Just as I advise Imran Khan to apologize for the sake of national interest and stability, I also advise General Asim Munir, Field Marshal, you have already achieved so much. You claim to have defeated insurgency, fixed the economy, humbled India, balanced relations between China and America. So retire gracefully in November 2025 when your term ends." But Warich never dared write such a line. Why? Because the real significance is this: if General Asim Munir retires, a new army chief will come, appointed by Shahbaz Sharif. That itself could open the way for improvement. Let me explain further. In November 2024, Pakistan passed an amendment to the Army Act extending the terms of service for Army, Air Force and Naval Chiefs to 5 years. This was after the 26th Constitutional Amendment in October 2024. But, strictly interpreting Pakistani law, unless explicitly stated, such amendments are not retroactive. I researched this carefully. The 2024 amendment has no retrospective effect. Munir's original notification, issued in November 2022, was for 3 years, meaning his tenure ends in November 2025. For him to continue till 2027, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and President Asif Ali Zardari would have to issue a fresh notification explicitly applying the new amendment to him. So this is the real debate I request journalists like Matiullah Jan to also focus on, because Munir's extension is not automatic, it legally requires a notification. And I'm sure Munir himself must be deeply worried about this at this stage. Moving on Sunday in Islamabad, an ANP-led multi-party conference was held. The declaration was issued by AML Wali Khan. Maulana Fazlur Rahman also spoke, and it made headlines. Mohsin Dawar was present, Jamaat-e-Islami representatives too, MQM representatives as well. They demanded that military operations in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa be stopped immediately, as they are causing destruction and fueling extremism instead of solving anything. Many other demands were also made, but honestly I don't understand, why did these parties, who are all supporters of the present Sharif Zardari Munir regime, hold this conference together? Were these demands just for show, to please media and constituents? Or are they serious? They had also scheduled a march on democracy for August 23rd in Islamabad, which they postponed citing floods, just as PTI postponed its protests for the same reason. So maybe the cause is genuine, but the basic issue is, will they actually stand by these demands or move on after just saying them? Because, you see, the Sharif Zardari Munir regime derives its legitimacy from only two things: the conflict with India and the resulting warlike atmosphere, the insurgencies in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan, plus some tensions with Afghanistan. This narrative is reinforced repeatedly. For example, on Sunday itself, at a Professor Waris Mir Foundation seminar in Islamabad, Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi declared that Pakistan's intelligence agency is so capable that it had prior knowledge of India's entire war plan. He claimed that when 6 Indian aircraft were shot down, including 1 drone and 5 others, ISI had obtained all video footage from inside India within minutes, which is why Pakistan waited to announce it until the footage was secured. Regardless of how extraordinary that claim sounds, the point is that it reinforces the paradigm. Pakistan is under external threat, and therefore military strength and establishment dominance are indispensable. This is exactly the narrative Warwick, Mohsin Naqvi's close friend, has also pushed in his columns. Now moving forward to something very serious. Something many of you may find boring, but it's actually the most important issue. It relates to the floods, to cloudbursts. I want to repeat here, it's not only about the loss of human lives. People say emotionally, 400 people died, 500 people died. But when property, homes, infrastructure are destroyed, those who survive are left in miserable conditions, their lives ruined, even if they remain alive. I used to do consulting with them on the health side since I was a doctor, as well as in the media, so I consulted them on health projects. I used to organize seminars. I also got the opportunity to read a lot of health policy literature about Pakistan that was developed by the USA and by universities as a consultant. By reading that literature, I came to know of a term called health shock, or sometimes economic shock. From there I learned that the majority of families in Pakistan live right at the edge of economic and financial survival, and the moment they face a shock, like the grandfather falls ill, is diagnosed with cancer, or passes away, or the father has an accident, or something else happens, then that health shock ruins the lives of all other family members. And when such financial shocks occur, your business is washed away, your shops are gone, warehouses destroyed, your goods lost. Even public-use roads are destroyed. Then life becomes utterly devastated. This is a very important point. Now, keeping this in mind, I must congratulate and appreciate the popular Pakistani television anchor Imran Riaz. Although Mr. Sohail, he too often spits venom against all of us, still, I've noticed that Imran Riaz always, in every video, raises some issue of public interest and importance. In his latest vlog, he began by mentioning the timber mafia. He said that during the floods people saw that the trees that came rushing down were not uprooted trees, but cut down timber, wood that had been illegally cut and stockpiled by the timber mafia. Those logs came down with the floods and caused further destruction. Then Imran Riaz said that when all this illegal cutting was happening, people thought, "Oh, these are government trees, this is government forest, not our responsibility." But actually, he said, those trees were yours. That forest was your asset which the timber mafia was cutting down, and you should have taken responsibility for it. He also briefly mentioned climate. I want to add some well-researched points here. These forests, the very forests that have now been destroyed, are also the solution to such devastation. In technical terms, trees are called carbon sinks because they absorb carbon dioxide. Studies on deforestation reveal that deforestation contributes significantly to the greenhouse gas effect by about 11%. Forests also strengthen the soil. Just as Mr. Sohail talks about national stability, forests provide stability to the land itself. They provide climate resilience and serve as the first line of defense against floods. If these trees had not been cut, if they had remained on the mountains, then perhaps the terrifying flood that struck people at 3 or 4 in the morning would not have hit them with such intensity. Now let me share some statistics with you, very painful ones, honestly. The total forest area in Pakistan right now is only 5% of the land. The United Nations, you see, demands at least 25% forest cover on land. In India, how much is there? Well, in India, 22% is regular forest, plus another 3% through massive afforestation along canals and roads. So India now has 25% of its land covered by forest. In the United States, forest cover is between 33 and 36%. The Americans work very hard to preserve their forests. It used to be even higher, but they still put in great effort. On a global view, the country with the most forest in absolute terms is Russia, second is Brazil, third is Canada, fourth is the United States, fifth is China. And interestingly, in China, the forest cover used to be only 19 to 20% just a few years ago. But China has made the maximum effort in the world to create man-made forests. They have now reached 25% by the end of 2004 through tremendous work on growing forests. In Pakistan's entire 78 to 80-year history, there has been only one political or national leader who repeatedly emphasized the importance of forests since 2013. What was his name? His name was Imran Khan, who today is imprisoned in Adiala jail. Imran Khan launched the so-called tree tsunami projects, the million tree tsunami, the 10 million tree tsunami, the billion tree tsunami, even the 100 billion tree tsunami. He created a consciousness. Perhaps 100 billion trees were not actually planted, but still a very large number were. And he tried to make this society and the people of Pakistan conscious of the importance of forests and climate change. By 2010 to 2012, it had already become clear that climate change posed a great risk to the subcontinent, to India and Pakistan, because of the greenhouse gas effect. Imran Khan instilled this realization that we need to plant trees and restore forests. He started this process in 2013. Yes, Imran Khan made many mistakes in life, and he was mocked for many things, including the tree tsunami. But now, in the face of this current devastation we are witnessing, one can truly understand the importance of his tree plantation initiative. Associated Press, or AP, released a very strong report titled "Cloudbursts Creating Chaos Across India and Pakistan." 2 Pakistani correspondents contributed greatly to it. One from Islamabad, one from Peshawar, Mr. Munir and Mr. Riaz. I must give them credit. It is a beautifully written report. It says that cloudbursts are wreaking havoc across India and Pakistan, and that the risk here is greater than in other parts of the world. Why? Because all 3 factors that favour cloudbursts exist here: a warm, moist atmosphere. Unlike the US East Coast, which is usually cold, very high mountains like the Hindu Kush and Himalayas, and the historic monsoon winds. When moisture rises into vapour, clouds form, and then the mountains block their path, causing sudden, massive rainfall in localised areas 30 kilometres wide within 3 or 4 hours, or even within 1 hour. No one can stop that water, and thousands have perished in recent years in both India and Pakistan. To counter this, the 2 biggest needs are forestation, planting trees, the same trees that the timber mafia cut down, as Imran Riaz pointed out, and advanced warning systems. Think about it. Only India and Pakistan themselves can solve this problem. If their universities, agricultural scientists, governments, think tanks and educated people work together, They can develop early warning systems just like Americans have for hurricanes, and even made great films about them. But of course, for this to happen, Hindu-Muslim hostility must be set aside and a cooperative framework established, which, unfortunately, General Asim Munir will never accept. A madman's voice breaks down in tears. This is the way forward. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.